DJ General Mills.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Inauguration Day. I thought that we never get here big bombs for Inauguration Day. But before we got to this point, we had to go through the last 24 hours of President Trump. And generally for American presidents, they spend their last day in their last couple of hours pardoning people who, long story short, they'll pardon these people on their last day. That way they don't have to deal with the blowback because they're leaving office. So they don't have to deal with the blowback of you pardoned the wrong person or blah blah blah, because they're out of office at that point. Nothing else can happen. So I say all that to say that yesterday Trump had a list of about 140 so odd people who got pardoned. And there were a lot of different people on there, but the one that we predicted was real simple. Lil Wayne, we knew that one was happening. The one that was just the shockingest the most is Kodak Black. And he pardoned Kodak Black, Lil Wayne, Steve Bannon, who I believe was part of his campaign, and he got sent to jail for mismanaging funds. Desiree Perez, if I'm not mistaken, Desiree Perez is the CEO of Rock Nation. And she runs Rock Nation. And so she's been Jay-Z's right-hand man for like 20 some odd years or whatever, but she went to jail on charges. I think it was like drug-related charges. And so she's been clean for, 20 some years, but they used that to pardon her. I'm pretty sure that's who I'm thinking about. But Lil Wayne and Kodak Black is just shocking. Trump a real one for that, but he's still a clown though. Absolutely. Come on now. Big bombs for Rob for understanding the truth. Absolutely. Without a shadow of a doubt, but it was just interesting to see him deciding, I'm gonna pardon Kodak Black. Now, out of all the people I thought he was not going to pardon, it would have been Kodak Black. It would have made a little bit more sense to me if he would have got like, I don't know, Joe Exotic, right? Because that would have just been the most randomest one in the world. But Joe Exotic's team thought that the whole squad was gonna get by. They thought the whole squad was gonna get by, and nah, Joe Exotic's still in jail. Had a limousine waiting, had like the family ready for him to come home. Nah, Joe Exotic's still up in there. So it was a little shocking about this one. But the Lil Wayne one, we predicted that yesterday, obviously stemming from his 2019 gun charge. You got to remember, he took a weapon, flew it across state lines. That's a federal offense, especially if it's an illegal weapon. So they got him cleared up. They got Kodak Black cleared up, which I'm a little surprised that his real name is Bill K. Capri. I don't think at any point in my time did I think that Kodak Black's real name was Bill. Like Bill Clinton. I don't think Bill just stuck with me. Bill. That just never stuck with me. What's up with you, Melissa Treat? How are you? That just never stuck with me. Bill. Like Bill. So Bill, I can't get off of that. Kodak Black, Bill, just never stuck with me. Like if his name was like Khalil or something like that, all right, cool. But Bill, like, Bill's short for William. So his real name is like William K. Capri. Just craziness. But anyway, they pardoned Kodak Black. And then the former Detroit mayor, Kwame Kilpatrick, who was convicted of multiple federal felony accounts, and sentences up to 28 years. Which I forget what those felonies were for, but I do remember that being in the news. Now here's the thing about Kodak. Kodak is, he's pardoned for the case that he's in jail for the falsifying federal forms to buy firearms. He still has a sexual conduct case, and I think that was in Alabama. So he still has to deal with that case as well. So I don't actually know if he's out, if he's home. I don't really know the whole ordeal with that, but I just know that he's just not there just yet. Obviously Steve Bannon, who we just discussed. You know, and then it was some, you know, some other people as well. I can't remember the guy's name. There was somebody else. Oh, yes. Also Death Row Records co-founder Michael Harry O. Harris. So I remember hearing about this. So Michael's been in prison since like he was like 27 years old, but apparently he helped create Death Row Records with Suge Knight. And Death Row Records was the record label that had Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Tupac, Warren G, Daz and Corrupt, Nate Dogg. All those guys were all under him, and he helped start that label. Now I can't exactly remember what he went to jail for. Looks like it was for drug trafficking and murder charges. But you know, obviously he was a great friend of Snoop's, and obviously with Snoop being a celebrity and Trump helping out his celebrity friends, this was kind of something that he did for him. Very interesting one. That was a very interesting one. That was something that once again went under the radar. So I was a little shocked by that one, but hey, we got it. So, congratulations to him for getting out. And then Desiree Perez. Yes. So that's what I was talking about. Roc Nation CEO Desiree Perez. She was involved in a conspiracy to distribute narcotics, and this was like 20 some odd years ago. So that was just basically her whole thing. But he cleared out a lot of people for hip hop. So on his way out, as lame as it was, he cleared a lot of people out. So, that was that in regards to that. So now that brings us to Inauguration Day today. What's up, Duddy baby? Hey, what's up? I didn't even see you. That brings us to today. Russ Berry, what's up? That brings us to today. And today is where things are right now. So today's the Inauguration Day. Trump is gone. He jumped on an airplane. I think or a helicopter. He jumped on the airplane or helicopter and listened to Frank Sinatra's My Way on his way out. Very like over dramatic, type of deal. Got him right up out of there. He did not stay for the inauguration, which is the first time in a century that the former U.S. president did not go to the inauguration of the next U.S. president. It's first time. It's a little, just a little wild. That's a little crazy, that he didn't actually sit there and listen to Biden. Pence did. His vice president did. So that's not, that's normal. But it's a little crazy that he did not do that. Just a little crazy. So I just didn't, we all suspected that, but that's just a little weird. Now, Inauguration Day went very smooth. The talk of the town was a couple of things, right? First of all, people listened to Joe Biden's speech. He gave a great speech. It was a nice speech, but nobody's talking about the inauguration and the speech. Everybody's talking about two things, and the first thing was Michelle Obama. She looked incredible with this piece. First of all, big bombs for Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama looked great. Like, I'm looking at her right now. She looked phenomenal in this piece. And this ain't no fashion show or nothing like that, but everybody had they suits or whatever like that, and all the women, like all his grandkids, they all had this same idea of wearing these like monochromatic whatever color schemes, but she looked great. So that's number one. The second thing that everybody was talking about was that apparently Kamala Harris's nephew-in-law had on some Dior ones. and it was all over the place. Let me see, is this a screen? No, that's not it. So these shoes right here are the Dior ones. The Jordan ones, I think they're a collaboration with Dior. The shoes themselves went on sale for $2,000, right? Sold out immediately. In the secondary market value, they're $7,000. That man is wearing $7,000 shoes, and they're Jordans. Big bombs once again for that. I don't know if that's the first time in history that somebody's worn Jordans to a inauguration, but that was everywhere. Like, that was everywhere. I'm just shocked. Like, that was everywhere. So, you know, congratulations to them. You know, everybody just was fashionable today. I don't know, like, what that was about, but those shoes was just dope. Everybody, Nice Kicks and Sports Center, everybody's just talking about how somebody wore some J's, and it was the Dior J's, you know, just really dope. So that was the, you know, that was the next biggest thing. And then finally, you know, now that we have a new president in, apparently he's gonna get right back to work. So, you know, we can real quick discuss some of the things. These are the 17 executive actions that he plans on signing this afternoon in the Oval Office. Obviously, stop border wall construction, great, right? We don't need to put up a border wall to stop illegal immigrants from coming in here. And we definitely don't need to spend billions of dollars and do all of that. End the Muslim travel ban, great. It's unconstitutional, should have been doing that. Rejoin the Paris Climate Agreement. Don't necessarily know what that means, but we need to do it. I trust Biden. End the Keystone XL Pipeline. Now that is very touchy. I agree with this. Long story short, it was a oil pipeline that went from Alaska to the south of the United States, thousands of miles, but it went over Native American and indigenous people's land, and they weren't going to get paid for it. So, you know, that was just one of those things. Count non-citizens in the U.S. What? I can't even see that. Oh, in the U.S. Census again. I agree with that. Rejoin the World Health Organization. Cool. 100-day masking challenge. Interesting that they called it a challenge and not a mandate, which makes me think that they believe that Americans are not going to pay attention. I think it's probably going to be something that's going to be a little bit more, it needs to be enforced by businesses and not necessarily by the government. So I'm watching that. Extend eviction and foreclosure, continue pause on student loans, great. Defend the Dreamers program, change Trump's arrest priorities for immigration and custom enforcement. ICE, I agree with that. That's the 21 Savage thing. And if y'all noticed last night on MSNBC and on Fox, they were both talking about 21 Savage and his ICE issues. So that actually helps 21 Savage in his quest to become an American. Keep protections for a group of Liberians in the country. Don't know what that means. Restructure federal government coordinates. Nope, I don't know what any of this means. Actions to advance racial equity through the federal government. Love that. We need that. We need all of that. Strengthen workplace discrimination protections based on sexual orientation and gender identity. Absolutely. Freezing last-minute Trump administration regulatory actions, absolutely, because Trump definitely went out trying to do some crazy stuff. And then formulate executive branch ethics doctrine. Don't know what that means, but I trust Biden. I put my faith behind him, so I trust him. So that's basically it. I know that was incredibly boring, but wanted to get through the things that we needed to get through. And, you know, like I said, this is a historic time. You know, Trump was so bad that we're not even talking about the history that's being made, right? We have the first woman vice president, and she so happens to be a black woman. So she's the first woman and the first minority woman, all in one. And nobody seems to be talking about it. That's history being made. And she's a vice president, and nobody seems to be talking about that. It's incredibly fire. You know what? Big bombs for Kamala Harris. Big bombs for her. She gets a lot of flack in the California jurisdiction because of the way that she treated people with drug offenses and everything like that. And according to her, she was just doing her job. That's kind of where the ethics comes in. It's like, yeah, you know, these people are poor and disenfranchised, but you still put them in as far. So it's just, you know, it's one of those things. That being said, though, you know, I thoroughly am excited to see what this administration does for the next 4 years. It's going to be scary to see what changes, right? It's going to be good, but it's going to be scary because the norm has been crazy for 4 years. You know, that's been the big thing. What we consider normal has been crazy for 4 years. So excited to see that. But we're here. It's still a congratulatory mood. So yes, big bombs for both of them, Biden and Kamala Harris. Congratulations. And hopefully we can get to back some sense of normalcy.
DJ General Mills.